Wait, do that one more time. Do it one more time.
It's so thick.
Same.
Oh my gosh, there's mud all over his legs. No, stay out here. Stay out here. No!
Oh my god.
Here.
I have so much equipment now that I'm kind of like, where the heck do I put all this stuff? Something tells me this recycling bin is gonna stay full for most of winter break. As I'm sure you guys could tell from the start of this video, Vlogmas has begun. So just a quick reminder for those of you that aren't aware, I'm gonna be daily vlogging from now until December 25th, or 4th, I think. The last vlog should be December 24th because I'm not gonna upload anything on Christmas. So I hope you guys are looking forward to the daily content. I'm definitely looking forward to getting back into things, and I haven't daily vlogged since last year. So make sure you guys have the notifications on because there's gonna be a new video every day at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So wherever you are in the US or the world, it may be different, but just keep an eye out for the videos because I'm pumping out a lot of content and you guys don't want to miss it. So I'm sure most of you are aware of my GT350 front end conversion. In fact, I'm willing to bet that a large portion of you probably found my channel through this front end and everything, and it's pretty good. I'm definitely happy with the way that it looks in general, but there's just a lot of things about this that I want to change, and I think I could just make it so much better if I just take some time and redo it and learn from my mistakes and what I've learned over the last year and just kind of make it actually function like a front bumper and not be this like janky piece of fiberglass on the front of the car, because that's kind of how it is right now. So when I first put this together, I didn't have as much experience with working with fiberglass in general or doing any sort of bodywork on cars, so it looks pretty good from afar, but if you get in close, you can really see there's like some cracking that's happening, and this side just doesn't line up that well with the fender. I mean, it's okay, and I'd say for a Mustang, like, it gets a pass, but I know that I can do better, and I definitely want to make this look much better. Like, so the overall fitment coming towards the fenders just needs to be improved on. Also, the holes that I drilled to hold it in at the top, I'm using the stock like bumper mounting point, but I literally just drilled a hole. At the time, it works, and it does work okay, but the thing about fiberglass is it's very brittle. So the bumper is going to experience all sorts of play, whether that be it scraping on the ground or the wind pushing down on your splitters and all sorts of things. The bumper is not supposed to be statically attached to anything, and the problem with fiberglass bumpers is that when there's metal against the fiberglass and it experiences any sort of interference, it can cause the holes to get bigger over time. So as you can see, this isn't really, it's not holding it on there super well, and I've noticed that the bumper in general is just starting to sag a little bit. Like, it's supposed to be up like this. So I think I've figured out a solution, and we'll get to that eventually, but just overall I need to redo the way that this thing mounts onto the car. And then finally, I want to make it actually fit the color scheme of a GT350 properly. I'm definitely super grateful for this paint job that I got on here last year, but if you look here, this inside part was painted gray. I know I could just cover it up with vinyl wrap, but then it might not match this splitter down here properly. And like, this is supposed to be black on a GT350. These are, like, that's supposed to be the black part. It's supposed to match the splitter, and like, it looks okay. Honestly, I've been driving it around for a year, so obviously I don't really care that much. But I want this thing to look right. I want the color scheme to be right. So I'm just gonna redo the whole thing. And earlier this year, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I was asking about like color recommendations because I am gonna go ahead and change the color of this car. So these racing stripes, they gotta go. I'm taking off the racing stripes, so we're gonna start with that, and then we're probably gonna take off the bumper and then go from there. So I've got the stripes pulled off the front bumper, and after I set the camera down, I realized that the other thing I forgot to mention earlier is the turn signals. So these have always been a temporary thing. They look kind of cool, but they're just cheap LED strips that I found on Amazon. That was mostly because I wasn't sure what turn signal I was going to run, whether that be the stock one or an aftermarket one. So I have a new turn signal that I'm going to show to you guys in a little bit, but the main goal was just to replace these because I didn't even cut out the hole. I just like bolted them onto there, and a bunch of you guys have been messaging me asking about like how I wired it up and stuff like that, and I was considering making a video about it, but then since I decided I was going to change the whole thing, I was like, well, I'll just make a video describing the wiring once I do the final product. So those are going to come off too, but now that we've got the stripes pulled off here, let's go ahead and pull the bumper off. I haven't had this bumper off the car in such a long time. This is honestly super nostalgic. I think the worst part about the turn signals that I have on the car right now is that they go through one little control box. So if you look in here, oh please focus. You can kind of see right here, I'll disconnect it and show it in a moment, but there's a little control box that needs the inputs from both turn signals. So what you end up having to do if you run this setup is you have to run the turn signal wire from one side all the way over to here. And I think it's the same with the fog light too. I think that's what this is. I think I have both fog light power cables routed to one side, which is just like, I don't know, it's kind of lame. I just have a better idea overall, and I think it'll just clean up a lot of this wiring mess. Alright, so before we go any further, I figured I would just go ahead and show you guys the new turn signals because I've been keeping them a secret for so long. And this was also one of the first parts that I bought using YouTube money, so I have to thank you guys a lot for that. Like, the reason I get to do these cool projects now is partially because I make YouTube videos about it, which is honestly just a dream come true. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys look forward to the content that I create with the money that I receive from this, because literally I don't pocket any of it. I just take the little bit of money that I get from YouTube and I just spend every penny on more car parts. Like, I have a ridiculous pile of car parts that you guys haven't even seen yet. So once again, I can't thank you guys enough for watching the videos and supporting the channel. And this is what I've bought. Well, let's get these out of here. So these are real S550 turn signals, and they're full LED. Dang, look at that. I hope it comes through on camera. You can see the little LED boards in there. The turn signal is still going to be a sequence that'll be amber, and then they also have a running light, which is white. So I think that will be what I wire into my fog lights, or maybe I'll make it just the regular running light. I guess it depends on how it looks, but I'm super amped on these. I think they look super cool. So I'm going to go ahead and do some testing and try to get them to light up just to kind of see what they're looking like, because I am going to need to cut holes out of the bumper, and I'm not sure where the holes need to go yet. So a lot of cool stuff coming, but I want to go ahead and just show these off to you guys because damn, they're spicy. Alright, so the original plan was to actually try to get the lights to light up, but I just realized that because I cut my stock harness, I have no plug to be able to plug into the light. One thing I find kind of interesting is that the S197 and the S550 have the same exact turn signal plug, so if you haven't butchered your wiring harness yet and you're looking to do this swap, make sure you buy like real S550 lights because you'll be able to plug them in. But because I have butchered that wiring harness, I am going to need to buy some little plugs to just make my life easier. I guess I could like splice them individually, but then that would just be for a test, and then I'd have to take it all back apart and make the harness. So we're just gonna have to wait a couple days before we can actually light up the lights. But in the meantime, I figured I would go ahead and pull the old lights off of the bumper and then see if I can maybe like cut the hole and sort of do a test fit. I'm not entirely sure how it's gonna fit, but we're gonna find out. But we're going to find out in an upcoming episode, probably tomorrow. I just kind of ran out of daylight in today's video, and I wasn't really enjoying the like bright light shining out of the garage, so I decided that I would just take the footage that I recorded today and make like an episode of just kind of like going over the stuff as you guys just watched. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned because we are going to start cutting up the bumper, I promise. I'm not just trying to like tease you guys. I just, you know, I want to do it during the daytime so I can get a nice shot. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys are enjoying Vlogmas because there's like 10 more episodes left, so if you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out and dream big.